Our Department of Horticulture at Oklahoma State University has a number of faculty. Several of us do extension projects, we have teaching faculty, and we also have a lot of research personnel who do lots of research. Primarily, the research is for commercial type growers in the vegetable area, the fruit area, and here at Bixby we have a research station where each year we do vegetable research and variety trials and look at all sorts of things. Well, today we'd like to talk about onions, and here to tell us about a study is area horticulture specialist Jim Shreffler. Hey Jim, welcome to the program.
Good to be here, Steve.
All right, good to have you. Well, Jim, right here you've got an onion study going on, and what were you guys looking at when you guys were doing this work?
Okay, have a couple different things going on here, Steve. We have some different varieties of onions here that some we've had in trials in the past, and we're just continuing to look at them to see how they perform. But another thing about this is these are all plants that were grown from transplants, but we grew those transplants here in Oklahoma.
Okay, from seed?
From seed. And the way we did that is we planted them in what we call high tunnels or hoop houses, basically unheated greenhouses. They were planted back in October, down at Lane this was.
Okay.
We seed them in the house. They grow through the winter time, and then at the end of February we pull those small plants out, and they may be about the diameter of a pencil, a little bigger, and then we bring them out and put them in the open field.
Okay. And what is for the homeowner? What is unique about growing onions from seed? I mean, that's not done a lot, but what are some of the benefits, I guess? Well,
working with onions for several years, both for commercial growers and for homeowners, something that we find is that number one, on some years the plant quality and these plants come from out of state.
Sure.
You don't have any control over. Sometimes the plant quality leaves something to be desired. The plants may be stressed badly and various things. You also very limited in the varieties you have available that way.
Absolutely, I agree.
We've done some trials over the years and found that there's some varieties that are not well known in Oklahoma that do real well here, but you can't just go to the garden shop and buy those plants.
Exactly. Yeah. Even our fact sheets, we don't have that many varieties that we recommend because they're just not that many available.
Yeah, and this is kind of new information, but what anyone can do is get seed of these different varieties, and if they have a hoop house available, or you can, without too much trouble, you could probably fix up a way to make yourself a little small hoop house in your garden even and do this. Again, we haven't done that yet, but I think it would be pretty straightforward to do it.
Okay, pretty much the same thing. Just make some small hoops, maybe 3 feet tall.
Yeah, it might be a little higher. But
okay, a little
cover
higher.
with clear plastic through the winter.
Okay, just cover the row of onions and get those seeded out in the fall.
Right, that's correct.
Okay, and some of the other benefits, I guess, would be when you get the little bundles of onions at the garden center in the springtime, they're kind of dormant almost. They don't have any roots on them.
Right. You get those bundles, and they're going to have some green leaves on them that have been clipped off. But like I said, they're pretty dormant. When you put them in the ground, and this would be late February, March, it takes them several weeks to start growing. Really. With these hoop house grown plants, however, you take them out of the hoop house, and they're nice and green and actively growing. The best thing to do is take them out of the hoop house today and put them in the field the same day if you can, or next day. They're going to take off growing right away, and you get all that much more time for the plant to achieve the size that it needs to produce a nice large onion bulb.
Okay, and you kind of preserve those roots, I guess. Right. You can kind of keep some of those.
It'll grow new roots, so actually we clip those roots off.
Okay.
Yeah, those same roots, we just clip them off. It grows new roots real quickly, though.
All right, but they recover so quick, they do a lot better.
Exactly.
Well, just looking at these varieties here, they have a lot of interesting names. I see this one is Cowboy and Renegade, and of all these varieties here, I guess they're all pretty good. I mean, they would work well for Oklahoma.
Some of these we've only have here for the first time, and they seem to be doing real well. There's some like 1015Y, that's everyone that grows onions knows that one. We have another one, Candy, that's becoming pretty popular. Now, there's a difference in those two varieties in that 1015Y is what we call a short day onion.
Sure.
That means that in the spring, as the days are getting longer, at a certain point, that's going to be triggered to begin to form a bulb, okay? And once that happens, the plant size at that point in time is what determines how large a bulb you're going to have.
Okay.
Now, as a comparison with Candy, Candy is what we call an intermediate day variety. It matures a little bit later, needs a little bit longer days to begin bulbing. The plant has more time to achieve larger size, and consequently you can produce a larger bulb with the candy if given the same planting date.
Okay, all right. That's really interesting. And if you look at this onion trial, these were planted out a little bit later than what you guys would have liked. When did these go in the ground?
Right. These were planted, I think April 4th it was. They were transplanted here to the field.
Okay, in April,
Yeah.
so a little bit later than what you would, quite a bit later actually, than what you'd want to get them in the ground. But they're still a pretty good size.
Yeah, and actually I can add, Steve, that for candy that would be fine. We'd say, you know, you're okay. We'd prefer to have these in a few weeks earlier at the latest.
Okay.
So.
All right, but with the 1015, this one was grown from a plant that was planted out a little bit earlier?
Right, this is 1015Y. These were the same transplants. These transplants, again, were grown down at Lane. This was planted, however, early in March, probably about a month earlier than these. Okay. And this was in a commercial field.
Okay, so a lot bigger.
The same plants and just earlier planting.
Okay. Well, Jim, just real quick, how do we know when our onions are ready to harvest out of the garden?
As you can see here, we have quite a variety. This Sweet Carolina here, the tops are completely gone. That's a real early maturing one. Those tops fell down probably a month ago and have decayed and all. You want to get them out of the ground before that. What you want to do, you see some of these where maybe 10 or 20% of the tops have fallen. That 20 to 30% when they're falling, that'd be the time you want to get them out of the field.
Okay.
You want to clip them. You'll notice on this one here,
left a little bit of stem.
Leave some stem. You can even leave it a little bit longer. And when you put that out in the sunshine or in warm, dry air that's circulating, you know, a fan blowing on it, that'll dry down and close up, and that'll protect it from decay organisms getting there and causing the onion to rot.
Okay, so store them where they get a little bit of airflow.
Right, airflow is the critical
dry.
thing. Yeah. Airflow and dry.
Even the crisper of the refrigerator be okay?
That may be more humid, but if they're kept good and cool, they will also keep well that way. So.
All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much.
My pleasure.